Good morning, good morning, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whoever you are. Hopefully you are having a beautiful and blessed day today. Welcome inside the Sunday Circle. So today what I am going to do is jump into our weekly conversation when it comes to reflecting on this week as we prepare for the new one. It's so important to take some time to get a really solid sense of what you've been doing, what you want to do, and how you're moving through your objectives, right, in your personal life and in your business too. So as always, what I'm going to do is jump over to our Sunday Circle Brain Dump Doc. We first discuss the agenda, right? For those of you who are my OGs or newbies, essentially, the focus of the Sunday Circle is to discuss the TP3, identifying your top 3 priorities for the week so that you are working with strategy and intention. I always love to say, always have something to S, have something to say, something to share, and something to sell. This is basically my response to entrepreneurs who go, I don't understand. Like, I know I'm supposed to be online. I know I'm supposed to be doing stuff to sell stuff, but what stuff? I don't know, right? So my simplified response to that is, well, of all the things that you could possibly do, can you strip away at the hard or complex things and focus on these 3 things that honestly should matter most to you? Number 1, making irresistible offers, having something to sell. Number 2, sharing a message with your audience, having something to say, right? And, of course, creating at least one piece of content, having something to share, right? Being able to share valuable content pieces, say something of value to set yourself apart from others as a credible, noteworthy expert, expand your business brand, and actually have offers to sell. These are the things that most people struggle with, whether it be 1, 2, 3, or all of the above. The reality is if you don't have stuff to sell, you're not going to make money. If you don't have people to sell to, you're not going to make money. And if you don't have something valuable to share, you have valuable content to put out there, you're not going to generate revenue. And or beyond that, right, do what you want to do, which is to create something purposeful and valuable that goes beyond you and really touches and resonates with the people you wish to serve. So now that we've discussed the agenda, number 1, let's dig into the meat and potatoes, number 2, right? So as you know, we are on the last few, or rather in, I should say, we have officially entered the last few weeks of the year. And a few weeks ago, I had put out there the end of year intensive that we worked on, really thinking about your vision when it comes to what you want to accomplish this year, what you want to do next year. I always say, look at yourself. Like, visualize your future self, and who do you want that person to be? What do you want that person to have accomplished? Work towards that vision, right? Because at the end of the day, nobody else is going to do it for you. Nobody's going to lose the love handles that are loving me on the sides. You know what I'm saying? If I don't get up in that gym or get up on that stepper, nobody else is going to do it for me. So you've got to really dig into what you want to accomplish for yourself, your goals, what you want to complete, launch, repeat. Think about the things that you realistically can do. And this was a big conversation. I actually had a pop-up session yesterday, and one of the things that I was periodically trying to say was, I'm going to give you these ideas. I'm going to give you these concepts of things that you can sell, products you can create, how you can generate money. But please trust and believe, if you don't do this, if you don't find a realistic, manageable way that you say, I can do this, it's not going to happen, right? If you come up with all of these lofty, amazing ideas and you put too much on your plate, it's not going to happen. As a matter of fact, one of my older programs finished Focus forward. I talk about how you can go from full plates to fully focused, right? And if I pair that with the Fresh Start program, which is what we're working on now, I talk about how you can take all of those high impact expectations for yourself and replace them with low impact, realistic micro projects and tasks that you can complete, right? I need to repeat, when it comes to whether it be your end of year vision or your new year vision, you've got to work on getting better at setting things that for yourself that you know you can accomplish. Now, you know what's interesting about that? Some of you don't have the highest regards for yourself as far as what you can accomplish. And that is the secret piece that we don't touch on enough. It's kind of like I in my mind, when I say to you, what can you realistically do? While I don't want you to put so much on your plate that you have these big, lofty visions and you overwhelm yourself. I always say, how do you eat an elephant, right? One bite at a time. You take those elephantastic tasks and you create something feasible. Yes, that's number one. But at the same time, I also want you to be conscious of downplaying your abilities, downplaying the possibilities of what you can actually accomplish. Oh, they're not going to buy that. Oh, that's not going to sell. Oh, I'm not going to put that together as well as I would like to, right? Don't downplay you and your abilities. You have to find a sweet spot where you can say, I know that I realistically can do this, whatever that is for you, whatever that looks like for you. So a part of being an entrepreneur is getting better at, I don't even know if this is the right way to say it, but entrepreneuring yourself. You know, entrepreneurs come up with all of these things that they try to create to help other people, helping yourself, right? Get better at trusting and believing that you have the ability to start and finish the things that you want to put out there in a quality way, okay? So where do you find you need to work on your R's? Reminders. Like literally, I have notes. You know, some people have sticky notes everywhere. I use the Notes app, and I have like a gamillion, okay? A gazillion. I'm going to put the zills and the nils and all of it. Because I'm just like, okay, Lashonda, remember, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this. My hubby had, not my hubby. No, actually, it's funny because they both had this issue. So the hubby one day was getting all of these notifications, and it was driving him crazy. And I was like, he was like, aren't you getting those notifications? I was like, yeah, I do, but my phone is on vibrate, it's on silent, so they don't bother me. He's like, I can't do that. I need my phone to be loud so I can actually hear what's going on, because he can't function with on vibrate. I said, okay, but just temporarily. If it's driving you crazy now, turn it temporarily on vibrate. He's like, are you going to remember to tell me to turn that off? I said, I don't have to do that. Use the reminders app. And he was all like mind blown. And so I showed him how to set it up. Create this reminder for yourself that I said, what time do you want to turn your phone back on? He was like, oh, okay, 10 o'clock. Okay, it will remind you, take that feature off, turn it on, right? So then my son, he texted me a few days ago because they had a holiday concert at school, and he was like, can you remember or can you remind me not to forget my guitar stand? And I was like, I don't need to do that. Go to the reminders app, create it, and when you're getting ready to leave at 6 o'clock in the morning, set that reminder to come on and say, hey, don't forget your stand. And so I literally created the reminder for him because I knew he wasn't going to do it for himself. I created it, and I shared it with him. I said, activate this reminder so it's on your phone. We are human beings at the end of the day, right? And I don't trust me as far as I can throw me. I don't remember where I heard that years ago. I don't trust them as far as I can throw them. To remember things. So I make myself little lists, and I give myself little reminders. Even when I have clarity calls with you all, 15 minutes before the call, I get an alert, right? You want things to change, figure out where you struggle, figure out where you're resistant, figure out where things aren't working, where you need more support. Who needs more support? And put the right resources in place that are going to help you with those things. So thinking about where you need to remind yourself to get certain things done, whether it be end of year or going into the new year, things you need to roll over because you didn't quite finish it now, you want to do it later, your revenue goals. What are some R's that are top priority for you? Dates that you need to be setting and looking into for deadlines, for launches, for events, for calendar things that you want. You creating I always say, create calendars for yourself to keep you in line and on course, and then create calendars you can share with your customers and your clients, share in your community, so that you guys are doing things as a community, right? You know what's happening, what's coming up next. And of course, questions, things you need to ask yourself, your higher power, your universe, your clients, things that you need to do to get clear about your direction or something else, right? We, again, are human beings. We don't have all the answers. And if you have all the answers, you need to put yourself in a room with other people because you think you know too much, but you don't. Okay? At the end of the day, we always have to acknowledge that there are things that we need to learn, things that we can understand better. What are those questions that are going to help you to get to the next part, the next point in your journey? So I just wanted to, number one, do a quick little end of year recap, because one of the things that I'm finding this year is it's so important to not just go on to something new, but go back to tethering yourself to things that you're supposed to consistently do. I'm good for that. I'm good for saying to you guys, hey, we're doing something new today. Hey, we're doing something new. Now, even though I will say this, on the surface, the names may seem slightly different, or it may be like something fresh and new, but to be honest with you, all of the things that I do are foundationally connected, right, on some level. They're all connected on a deeper level. But I also wanted to be able, especially this year, to clearly say, look at here, we ain't doing something new today. We're going back to the things that we did last week. That's what we do in the Sunday Circle. We come back to the same three things consistently, because you have to be able to create a space to remind, to repeat, to continue to rework your best to make your best better, right? I'm just kind of thinking about little rhymes and things that really always stuck and resonated with me. I know you guys know this one: good, better, best. Never let them rest until your good is better and your better best, right? That's what that repetition is about. You don't let that space rest where you're like, oh, I'm done, right? You keep working and chipping away at it through simplicity and repetition. For me, that is the key. So now that we've done this quick end of year, new year recap rundown, let's go into what I want to share with you with respect to this week in particular, what I've done and what you could possibly do, and then leaning into the new week as well. Okay, so that's what we are going to focus on today. I'm going to do a quick power pause. I just want to check something real quick, and then we'll come back at it. Okay, so prepping your plans this week versus next week, right? The TP3, your offers, your messages, and your content. When it comes to weekly production, I always ask you, are you right now in production mode or pitch mode? This week has been pretty quiet for me. I've kind of been quietly letting whatever has been available for sale to kind of people do its thing, go to the things and buy the things that they want. But me working on production in the background, just finishing up things for clients and things that I need to do as well. One of my clients is getting ready to launch her 14-day challenge, so we've been working on that, just kind of working with you all privately, looking at your projects and helping you either put them together, clean them up, get clear about your next best steps. And then those projects that for myself I want to wrap up as well, right? So I've been mainly in production mode. And I always say you are either, when it comes to producing, actually producing the content, like when it comes to making an offer, I should say, when you are proactively making offers on a week by week basis, you'll find yourself either proactively producing an offer or actually making the pitch to say, hey, here is something that I want to share with you. So production mode versus pitch mode, right? This week, a big push for me has been on continuing to create my bundles and kits and sharing them with my audience. The latest one is plug and publish. I am in love. Like every time I create a new kit or a new bundle and share it with you guys, I'm in love. Plug and publish has 3 levels. There's a starter kit, a next level, and a VIP experience, right? The GBBs, good, better, best. This is definitely a GBB offer. I created this one in particular because I wanted to have an all-in-one solution for my clients. I've been kind of quietly looking at where people are struggling, right? And you want to, I always say, like the iRobots cartoon, see a need, fill a need. Look at where you find your people are needing you the most, or people within your industry, what do they need the most, right? And I'll say that there's a sector of people who have said to me, LaShonda, I've got so much content, I've got so much information, I just don't know how to package it. I don't know how to put it together. I feel like my branding is off. I feel like it doesn't flow the way it needs to, right? So basically being able to put together kind of like paint by numbers, right? The whole concept of paint by numbers is you cannot get this wrong. When I tell you to put blue, put the blue where it says put blue. When I tell you to put the red, like follow the instructions, right? Being the Gemini that I am, when I teach, I tend to, while I direct, I don't always instruct. And there's a difference. I'll say, here, you can do this. I want you to be creative. Do it as you like, right? And for some people, they go, oh, my God, I don't know what to do. I don't know what I like, right? So being able to say, okay, I want you to do this and do it this way. Follow the steps is what Plug and Publish is all about. Plug your stuff into this thing that I'm giving you in this order so that you can create this specific thing that I want you to put together, right? Make sense? And for some of you, you may need to think about whether you direct versus instruct, right? I've had, for example, I've had experiences in the past where I've had clarity calls with clients, and I'll say, they'll go, okay, well, I'm confused, I'm challenged, I need help with this. And I'll say, okay, well, what are you trying to do, or what is the direction you want to go in? Well, if I knew that, I wouldn't have called you. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people, they coach by, like, you do this. I'm not that type of a coach. I'm more of a mentor, and I'll help guide you towards your revelations. But for some people, right, which is why I said for a specific sector of people, some people don't necessarily need or want guidance. They want instruction. They want you to tell them, push this button, do this thing, because they just are like finding it a little bit overwhelming to do it on their own, right? So creating a good, better, best, basically creating a digital product that has 3 options. One's good, one's better, one's the best. The good one is the starter kit. It's the lowest price point. It's got the smallest amount in it, but it's budget friendly. Usually the case of good options is that it's smaller and budget friendly. The level up, next level option has the majority of the stuff in it. It's the better option. Usually the better is the one that the majority of people go for, right? And that you really want people to go for. Like, yes, it's okay to get the low-hanging fruit, the lowest price point, but your goal, honestly, usually is whatever that middle price point is, you want more people to funnel towards that one. And the best, that's the highest tier. Usually that's for the person who is, number one, your absolute fan. They want everything that you put together. Or number 2, they want nothing but the best. They want the most that they can get at that time, right? And so thinking about when you put your offers together, if you just have one main offer or you choose to have two options or three options, that's food for thought, okay? I think somebody mentioned something in the chat. I'm going to pause for a second and check that. Tina says, that is me. I need paint by numbers. I love that. Oh, my goodness. And, that's something that um, it's not to say that it's taken me 20 years to learn, because it is something that I've realized very earlier on. Like, the more I was working with clients one-on-one, that different personalities need different types of teaching styles, which is why every person is not for you, right? There may be someone who needs something that just is not in your nature to offer them in that capacity, right? But I will say that for certain things, it's taken me a while to say, okay, I'm going to choose to teach or create for that type of person, right? Because while I do that, sometimes it's not always my go-to. Okay. That's a powerful insight, especially for coaches. Yes, I believe so. Absolutely. Being able to really think about the people you wish to serve and your personality versus theirs, right? Because everything that we do can be, to me, on some level, compared to dating, compared to some sort of a relationship, where it has to be a good fit, it has to be a good match, whether it's a person or a product, or it's just not going to work, right? Person, product, program, what have you. If it's not a good fit for you, it's not going to work, right? So when I think about, for me, especially at the end of the year going into the new year, I create bundles. I create kits. I create collections where I'm basically able to create or pull out the best of what I've produced in that year to deliver it to people, or think about the direction that I or my people want to go in into the new year, and create something that is going to create a space to either work deeper with my existing customers or attract people who are like, oh my gosh, going into the new year, I want that, and this is a perfect fit for me. Okay? So, kits and things, we're definitely going to continue that conversation, because I got a plug and publish pop-up later on this morning at 10 a.m. EST. For those of you who'd like to join me for that, we're going to continue to create digital products and work on your Canvas skills. But let's talk about messages, right? So the first part of this conversation is your offers. What exactly do you want to put together, and are you pitching or promoting, right? Number one. I'm sorry, not pitching or promoting. Are you producing or pitching, right? Pitch, promote, kind of the same thing. But putting your offers out there versus putting them together, and what exactly are you trying to put together? For me, my focus really this week has been putting together, working on the plug and publish project, and now going into promotion mode, sharing it with you all. Messages. Messages make you money, honey. What kind of messages are you putting out? What are you talking about? I absolutely love the spiritual figure Stephen Furtick. I always find that his messages come to me in divine right timing. And last week, he shared a message. He has these morning minute messages that I absolutely love, because it's bite-sized. And I'm always like, give me the small bite-sized things. And basically, it'll be like literally a minute or two from one of his recent sermons. And it was finished with favor. And that's a message that I want to be able to share, especially at this point of the year, of understanding what finishing with favor looks like, what finishing strong looks like, and really digging into how best you are going to support you. Because as an adult, it's great when we have support, but to be honest with you, a lot of times we don't either have enough support or the kind of support that we want. Because sometimes we got support, it's just not the way we want, right? So what I want to do first is actually pause and share that message with you, finish with favor, number one. And then number two, continue to talk about the messages that I shared this week and create a space for you to think about the kind of messages that you want to share with your audience this week. So first, I'm going to go to sistersense.com/FWF, which stands for Finish with Favor. This particular website that you're looking at actually built on Canva. It's my daily deals template. I absolutely love it. I've been just kind of having so much fun with this template and adding things to it. It's like my new obsession. But as this is a video on YouTube, I'm going to play it, but I'm going to pause the recording so that it is not going to mess up my uploading this later. But those of you who actually want to watch this, just come here, sistersense.com/FWF. If you're not joining me live and listening on the replay side, pause, come here to sistersense.com/FWF for Finish with Favor so you can watch this video, okay? And if it's not here because I changed the link to something else, just check in with me and I'll point you in the right direction. So let's do a power pause. This is literally like a minute long, and then we'll talk about it. Confess I will finish with favor. Literally, not even 2 minutes, but to me, so profound. Whenever I see his messages, I stop because I don't see them every day. So it's always an indication to me when I actually do see his message pop up in some way that it's divine right timing and that message is for me. And this week I received it, and I wanted to share that because it's so important. There were things that I had planned at the beginning of the year, and we always do, right? We have these New Year's resolutions, things that we want to do, and there was one thing in particular that absolutely knocked me for a loop, that absolutely set me back for 8 months. I'm not going to go into the things, probably a year or two from now. Sometimes I don't like to talk about the things when it's in it. I don't like to share from a place of depletion. I like to really focus on those spaces where I can encourage after the fact, right? Hold on one second. Okay, have to transition rooms for a second. As I mentioned before, I generally do not like sharing anything that has any negative energy attached onto it. I don't talk about it while I'm going through it. Once I've gone through it and I've gotten to the other side, that's when I have a message to share. But I will say that particular message right there definitely hit because there were some things that I was going through for pretty much the majority of the year that threw me for a loop, that put a lot of things out of whack. And that message was so on time, right? It was like, listen, doesn't matter what you expected. Let's embrace what he's doing for you. Because some of those things probably happened not as you expected, but for a reason that is beyond, at that moment, your comprehension. Let's focus on the fact that what you need is in front of you and you are going to move forward. Regardless of what happened, you are going to finish with favor, right? Whatever was delayed, whatever was prolonged, whatever went wrong, you are going to finish with favor, right? What a powerful and profound message. And I don't know what you are going through. I don't live with you. In some cases, I probably don't talk to you either that often at all, or genuinely know the depths to which you may be going through things. You know what I'm saying? But as entrepreneurs, I always say, if you ain't right, the business ain't right. If you're not working, the business is not working. And so being in a place where you can pause and understand what's going on with you and understand that you have the ability to finish strong and finish with favor regardless of what happens. That was kind of why, it's funny, when I thought about Fresh Start, this new amazing program that I've been working on with you all, and this message that said, listen, your fresh start starts now. It's not going to start on a Monday. It's not going to start on the 1st. It's literally going to start right now. If you're willing to embrace that regardless of what happened, you can still make this the best year of your life. You can still create a space to do the things you want, to accomplish the things that you want, to not give up on you, then you do what you need to do, which is to dig deeper into your fresh start starts now. Because we can either dig deeper into our abilities or we can dig deeper into our defeats. I always remember watching that movie Get Out when she says to him, sink. And he's sitting in that chair, and literally it feels like he's falling into a sunken place. And a lot of times we do that. We internally sink and fall deeper into defeat rather than falling deeper into our capabilities moving forward. So that was, for me, one of the messages that I not only embraced but wanting to put out and encourage with my community, because here's the reality when it comes to sales. How does this connect to your business, Ashonda? How does it connect to the entrepreneurial people that you work with? Oh, it connects. Number one, you not only have to dig deeper within yourself, but you have to dig deeper relationships with your audience. And for me, as a spiritual entrepreneur, I truly believe where 2 or 3 are gathered in his name. And when I create spaces where I hit deeper parts of my entrepreneurial spirits, that's how they choose. That's why they choose me versus any other body. They could choose other people to work and teach and deliver either the same things that I do or maybe even better things that I do. But it's about the message that I put into my content that makes it unique, that makes it irresistible. You don't just stand out because of your brand, colors, because of the pictures that you choose, because of the copy that you put on your website, right? Yes, I'm a web designer, but it goes beyond that. It's deeper than that. It's you. It's how you resonate, how you present. It's the message that you put out to your audience that is going to create a deeper hit for them. When people go, man, LaShonda, listen, what you just said right there, whew, I needed that. I needed that. That's where the conversions are for me. And I don't just simply say it to generate money. It's just, I can't give you something like, Stephen, this message, if it's just coming from a monetarily place. It's not. It really is coming from a heartfelt, I know what you're going through, because as a woman, as an entrepreneur, as a whatever, we connect on a deeper level where I can share this message with you. But that deepness leads to conversions, leads to commitment, leads to people saying, okay, listen, no, don't mess with them folks. Don't mess with them folks. You need to come see LaShonda. You need to go work. I don't know what you're doing, but you need to stop what you're doing. You need to go call LaShonda today, okay? Well, don't call her because she don't like calls. Email her. Email her, and she'll get back at you. Send her a voice message. You know what I'm saying? Because trust and believe. If I was to give my phone number out, baby, I would be on the phone 24/7. That's just not the life for me. So one of my messages this week in particular is finishing with favor and being able to share that with my tribe. Number one, finishing strong. Number two, literally last week, all week, we did the Finish Strong week. I literally did 3 sessions a day, every day. So it makes sense that this week I'm a little bit quieter than last. I need to reboot. Introverts, we tend to need to pause and recharge for a bit. So I've been doing that. Also giving myself and clients the grace and space to do what they want this week. And I've been finishing strong, wrapping up projects for clients as well as projects for myself. You know what I mean? So breaking cycles. This was a message that I shared. This week, I've been doing my Vlogmas series, and one of them, I talked about breaking cycles. And one day, long story short, I was in the middle of working on Plug and Publish, and I was like, oh, I need to stop because I've got to do this webinar today, and I was supposed to do it today, so let me knock it. And I was like, you know what? Yes, you have it on your calendar. And yes, you can stop everything and do that. But the world isn't going to break, and people aren't going to be mad if you do it next week. So, and that was it, right? But that was so profound to me that I had that be one of my messages, because I am very much a stickler for, like I said, whether I was driving in my car from South Carolina to back to North Carolina, or at the airport going to Jamaica, I was doing my Sunday circle with you guys at 6 o'clock in the morning. Like, I do legit stick to, when I say myself, do this thing, I try to stick to it as best as I can, because it's so easy to fall off, because nobody else is going to commit to pushing you the way you can do that for yourself, right? But in this instance, I was like, your goal right now is to focus and finish this project in a timely manner. If you need to pause and take some other things off of your plate to commit to finishing this process, do that. Break cycles of doing all the things or committing to things just blindly to do them because that's the schedule and that's the calendar and that's the pattern, if right now you need another pattern, if you need something else that's going to be beneficial for you. So I didn't necessarily go into as much detail as I'm going into with you on that particular vlog, but I said, listen, I need you to get better at breaking cycles, stopping the resistance of you being resistant to doing things differently or stopping things because you feel like that's just the way things have to be. Stop that resistance and start to finish what you start more often, right? What are those messages that you're sharing with your tribe? Working on not only putting messages out there, but responding back to inquiries, things that you all have said to me or you're asking me. That's what the week looks like. You put messages out, and then messages come back. Requests come back. Inquiries come back. That's how the week-by-week revenue works, for me anyway. I can't speak to everybody. I can only speak as someone who organically generates sales on a week-by-week basis. How does that work, especially without paid ads or big tribes and all the things? For me, it just works through authenticity, just organically showing up, creating deep conversations with my audience, where it's not like, oh my gosh, mind blown, profoundly deep, but just me being myself with my audience and connecting and converting with those people that it just works for, right? Following up with people who I need to follow up with. That's always a big one on the to-do list. I literally will have like a short list of names I need to check in with, fill in the blank people. Do I get to everybody on the list? I do not, because I'm human, but I do my best. Sending out personal messages privately to people that I want to pitch to and proactively work with on some capacity, responding to or sending out voice messages. Voice messages to me are just like, oh my goodness. Like, if you ever had your like bestie, it would be the voice messages for me. I just can't be on a phone talking to people over the phone, because sometimes people they talk way too long. Or they want way too much. I'm the type of person that I resonate and work with people on such a level that oftentimes it's very easy for somebody to get on the phone with me and not want to get off the phone with me and squeeze out that energy. And as somebody who has been told I have empathic tendencies, I have to be mindful of that. So I'm very mindful of energy transference. I don't get on the phone with everybody all day, every day, because that's draining, number one. And the fact that I try to work with people from a place of positivity and solutions, for people who are feeling depleted or challenged, they will sit on that phone with me for as long as they can to squeeze out as much as they can from that energy. And that literally will leave me like a dry sponge. I'm dehydrated as it is. I can't. So being mindful of that. Replacing that with voice messages where they can send me a 90-second message and I can send them something. It's more controlled. That is, for me, one of the things that you need to figure out in your business and in your life right now, because the two are interconnected. Where do you feel like you're out of control? You've lost control. You take too much on because you're controlling, or you have other people or circumstances control your life, right? I have to figure out how to make this work for me. Because if I don't, it's not going to work for me. You know, old school entrepreneurs, they'll be like, oh, what's your business card? What's your number? Can I call you? I don't operate that way, right? I have to create a space that works for me. Otherwise, it's not going to work for me. My week, my day, things are going to be too overwhelming. You have to sit down and figure that out to make things better. Voice messages and checking in with my tribe. Content. That's the last of the conversation today. For me, number one, baby, it's the Vlogmas. I'm literally on day 9. I believe today I'll be recording day 10. These are short. These are like not even 10 minutes. Some of them are like 1-2 minutes. I've been getting comfortable, so they've gone from like 2 to 5 minutes to like 5 to 9 minutes. But one of the things I love is repetition. When I started using Canva, it's a graphic tool that intimidated me because I didn't know where everything was. And if you watch my older videos on Canva, I would be so flustered. I'd be like, you know, I like Adobe. I like Photoshop. I don't know this Canva thing. But now I can do Canva in my sleep. I'm using this tool for editing. It's called CapCut. And I use CapCut. It's not terribly complicated, but if you use something sparingly, whether it be Canva, CapCut, ConvertKit, or otherwise, sometimes you feel like a blubbering idiot. You're just kind of fumbling through it, right? Where is this thing? How do I do that? But literally editing these vlogs every single day on my phone, I'm just clipping and cutting and snipping. And it's just getting so much easier for me because of that repetition. To me, again, simplicity and repetition is key. And so I have seen people do vlogs, which are, you blog, but as opposed to writing, you're doing video. That's a VLOG. A vlog, VLOG, versus a blog, BLOG. It's a video log of your day. It's something that YouTubers do quite a bit, by the way. And so I said, okay, I'm going to do this. Vlogmas is when YouTubers will challenge themselves for Christmas for the whole month to vlog every single day. I received a reminder about that just before the new month started, so I felt compelled to try it out, right? And by the third day, I was like, I don't know what the hell to say on these vlogs. Y'all need to help me out. But it's been rocking. It's been rolling. And so one of the things I said at the very beginning of the year is to either create a YouTube channel or go back and update your channel. If you're looking to work on building a stronger digital footprint, having some solid content on YouTube is a great way to help people find you, get attracted to you, buy your stuff. I don't know how strong your YouTube game is, but work on it. Literally, I have videos with 30, 40,000 plus videos. 30, 40,000 plus views, and then some with small views. But the reality is that when you upload, unless, by unfortunate circumstance, your videos is taken down by YouTube, they'll stay up there and they'll grow for you, right? And in that case, you have the opportunity to create a new profile, right? Start over again. This happens to people all the time. They, their TikTok closes, they create a new TikTok. Their, Instagram closes, they create a new one. Create a new one, keep it popping, keep it moving. You build, right? You rebuild, I should say, as needed. And I would tell you that because I do a lot of private trainings, the majority of the videos that I do upload to YouTube are unlisted, so they're not searchable. Back in the day, only short, free videos, that was my way. And then I kind of transitioned into doing live streams and more private content. So I love the whole Vlogmas experience because it gives me an opportunity to work on going back to those shorter, public, free accessible, searchable videos, and then getting back into a day-by-day or week-by-week video creation routine. So the Vlogmas content, number one, plug and publish. Plug and publish over at susansense.com/PAPR for plug and publish replays. You can watch the replays and learn more about the templates and kits. PAPR. I'm doing a combination of free trainings, like free 99, right? I do paid webinars all the time, whether it's $20 or $300 or whatever, right? I charge for my webinars all the time. Doing a series of free content. You're going to see a lot of free content come out of me this month, whether it be a direct freebie or I'm giving you access to things that you generally would have paid for because you are a part of a program or a private membership. The replays in this case are also public. Usually I may do things for free and then put the replays behind a paywall. Everything is, or I wouldn't say everything, but a good percentage of the things that I'm putting out this month are finished strong, make up for any lost time where you didn't have the mental capacity or emotional bandwidth or whatever to do some of the things that you wanted to do this year. This is still your year. Knock it out right now, right? May not be where in a week or two you have exponentially grown to some crazy level, but you did what you need to do to not give up on you. You did what you need to do to say and also do the things you said you were going to do. This is, by the way, me talking to me. Possibly this may resonate with you. That's what I'm doing right now, right? And so strategically creating Vlogmas, doing the plug and publish series, the training videos that are going to come out of that are a series of pop-ups that will be available for free, both live and replays. The kits are available for purchase, right? One of my favorite, this was not original a quote from me, but something I heard many years ago in response to the question of how do you not give it all away for free? Like, how do you get paid for your information when you have so much information to share, right? Tell the what, sell the how. I always have to pause and think about it. Tell the what, sell the how. I can come on and absolutely free tell you what to do. How to do it, like I do it or using the tools that I've produced, that's what you have to pay for. Sell the what, tell the how. The how is working with you directly. The how is your products, right? Access to you or the thing that you put together, that's what you're selling. Write that down. Sell the what. I'm sorry. I screwed it up. Tell the what, sell the how. Tell them what to do. Everybody can Google, everybody can YouTube, but they can't all do it like you. That's why in order to do it like you, utilizing your systems, your processes, right? That's what they have to purchase. Proprietary. You own it. You created it. It's yours. Right? That's what you sell. Now, keep in mind, not all of it is for free. There's a lot of content that is behind paywalls. My templates, my Sunday circle, it's a part of the Susan Sense circle. The digital product content creation sessions that I'm doing, the classes, I'm doing another one today at 10 a.m. EST. These classes that I'm producing over the next several weeks going into the new year, that's going to be an opportunity for me to teach people and actually show them what Plug and Publish is all about and what it includes, right? And then being able to share that content in the form of new YouTube videos, micro podcasts that I put on TikTok and Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, being able to continue to test out the auto DM feature, which is something that I'm not going to go into too much depth here, but when people, you tell people say a certain keyword or phrase in the chat on Instagram or Facebook, and then based on that keyword, when they put it in, using the ManyChat platform, you can automatically DM them a message or a link And so that helps with both comment engagement plus with interactivity, being able to give people clickable links that they can go to immediately or instantly through you. These are some social media marketing and content marketing efforts that I've been working on and share with you. Now, as you know, when it comes to our sessions together, this is always an opportunity for me to literally pull back the curtain, tell you what I'm doing so you can work on those things too. Hopefully this has been helpful to you when it comes to your messages, your content, and your irresistible offers. So definitely feel free to let me know if any of this resonates with you, number one. And number two, now that we've done the first half of the meat and potatoes, let's wrap up with our session for today, okay? So as always, we jump to the end of the Brain Dump Doc to talk about positioning yourself for profit. You want to work on that revenue. What you got to do is work on the 3 R's, your revenue, reach, and your routines. If you do plan on making money this week, okay, well, what do you plan on selling, and what are the sales goals you're trying to reach? Oh, I want to sell fill in the blank. It is $100. For every 10 people that purchase that $100 offer, I make $1,000. Okay, you got to get clear about that because it's not more complicated than that. Oh, Shonda, well, what marketing strategy should I use? Figure out what you want to sell, then reach out to both individuals, groups, and people on social media platforms that are looking for your content. That's how you sell, right? Who do you want to reach? Where will you reach them? Me creating YouTube videos, me doing Vlogmas, my Vlogmas series, I'm simultaneously posting it on TikTok. I shouldn't say simultaneous because I don't want to confuse you. I record the videos, I edit the videos. They're usually anywhere between 3 to under 10 minutes. Then I upload video to TikTok. Then I go over to Instagram, upload it to Instagram. It automatically gets uploaded to Facebook. Then I go over to YouTube, upload it to YouTube. So I work on that for about an hour, and that is one of the daily activities that I've integrated into my day for the next 31 days, or rather for this 31-day period until the end of the year. Is it easy? It's getting better as being a habit, and I do give myself the grace and the space. If I can't do it at one point in the day, I do find a way to do it at some point of the day. Today's episode is called Lazy Girl Hacks, how I get a couple of things done as far as my business and being a mommypreneur, little things that I do. But I try to find the grace and the space to give myself that if I need to pause or something. But I've so far been actually recording every day, which is pretty impressive for me. So how do you want, who will you plan to reach and how will you reach them? These are questions that you have to ask yourself, questions that we dig into each week. What routines? So Vlogmas is a habit. It's a routine. It's what I'm doing right now. I don't know, maybe I may just continue that and try to do a free video at least once or twice a week on YouTube moving further into the future. But I'll definitely focus on these micro videos that I can post on these short form content social media platforms for now. And then, of course, identifying those tasks and deadlines that you are setting for yourself for the coming week. Those are questions to ask yourself, number one. Number two is the TP3 plus the Eisenhower matrix for me. If you have difficulty when it comes to decision making, hopefully this hour that we've had together has given you an opportunity to brain dump your desired tasks. Like listening to me, blah, 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 for however long I've been doing that, to think about the things that you personally want to do. Then you take that list of your ideal priority tasks and you break them on down into 4 compartments using the Eisenhower matrix. Identify compartment 1, the things that you need to do now. Why you need to do them now? Because they're urgent and important, right? Then quadrant number 2, decide those things that you will schedule. Why will you schedule them? Because while they are important, they're not urgent. You don't got to do it now. You can do it in the near future. Delegate. Who can do tasks for you? They are important on some capacity, right? They are, or rather, I should say, they're urgent. They're tasks that need to get done, but you don't have to be the one to get it done. Who's going to do some things for you? Replace the how with who. How you can do it versus who can do it for you, right? Urgent but not important, and then delete. Eliminate or put aside those things that are neither urgent nor important. For those of you who struggle when it comes to really definitively saying, this is what I'm going to do today, the Eisenhower matrix plus the TP3 is the win-win for me. Okay? So I always love to essentially encourage you to work on identifying your top priority tasks based on this time that we have together. And then even if you're not able to speak with me directly, real time in the group, one-on-one, you can use this strategy to help you get better at deciphering what's most important, especially if you've got a lot of important things. And then you take action. I always love to say there are two types of people in this world, active talkers and action takers. And baby, like I said to you, I'm not a phone kind of a girl, mainly because energetically people can drain the hell out of me on the phone. So when I do it, I consciously have to prepare myself to get on that call and do what I need to do. Plus, as somebody who has some real deep relationships with old friends, I know I'm not the only one who can get on the phone with an old friend that you haven't seen in years and it feels like you just spoke to them yesterday. But on the flip side of that, it becomes 10-minute check-in turns into like a 6-hour all-day consuming thing. Those things don't necessarily work well for me. They're not my ideal cup of tea. So I try to be very intentional with my phone time. But with that being said, whether it's a voice message or phone time or anything in between, getting better at understanding you, what you've been through, what you want to do, what works best for you, those are some things that we talked about today when it comes to the conversation of tackling your resistance, your challenges, your fears, and your misconceptions. Hopefully, on some way, me sharing some of these random, not so random anecdotes gives you an opportunity to think about you internally, what is working and or not working for you. Again, challenges, fears, and misconceptions. Tackling your internal resistance is always something that I like to do because, girl, man, bruh, sister, I always talk tech. That's who I am. I've been, I went to Brooklyn Technical High School. I will forever be a tech knight. I will be your resident web tech girl. But baby, all the tech and technology talk is not going to do anything for you if you don't tackle your resistance. There are two types of people, action takers and active talkers. Oh, I could have done this. I would have done that. I'm going to da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I don't need you sitting on the phone talking to me for 5 hours about what you want to do. I need you to get the hell off the phone and do what you said you was going to do. You can't do that unless you dig deeper. That's one of the key words today, and identify what's stopping you from doing what you need to do. Where is the challenge coming from? Where's the fear coming from? Where are the misconceptions, the blocks coming from, making it difficult for you to do what you need to do? Remember, you cannot control other people, and you cannot control what life throws at you. The only thing you can control is you. That's the only thing you can control. So the better you get better at understanding you when you react versus when you respond, how you react, that's how things move forward. Get your ASK, get your ask in gear. Who or what do you need to ask so that you can move forward? Your higher power, ask the universe, ask me. Sometimes I say to y'all, if you can't ask me, ask ChatGPT. Hell, ask the AI. Get some clarity. Don't sit with all that stuff on your chest. Ask, and you shall receive. Sometimes you may not know who to ask, but just asking, put it out there, something happens. I was talking to a client last week, and I said, you know what? We had 2 sessions back to back, one on Monday and the next on Tuesday. And I said, man, I was thinking about where we left off, and I came up with this concept for you. I shared the concept to her. She was like, don't make me cry. She was like, do not make me cry. Literally, I was asking God about something yesterday. I was reading Proverbs. I was asking for a solution, and you literally put this in present this to me today. Everything will present itself to you in divine right timing. I love the power of divine right timing. I love the energy that comes with angel numbers and knowing when I see some certain numbers, the angels, or as my hubby says, our ancestors are speaking to me and directing me even when I don't feel like I have direction. Ask, and what? You shall receive. Maintain your momentum. Me jumping on here, literally 7-Eleven, one of my numbers, look at that. Me jumping on here and sharing with you literally right now, for me, is divine right timing. It's high energy time. It's the birds are chirping, I'm up, you're up, let's knock this bad boy out, right? So when can you work on PCS, personal clarity sessions, to do what you need to do, whether you do it alone with an accountability partner, your business bestie, me, somebody, so that you're maintaining your momentum? You have to carve that time out. I cannot wait to see some of you guys in January. Those 3 to 5 days with me, baby. Number one, I get to hang out with y'all in person. And most of the time, I'm talking with you virtually. So real people interaction is always a happy place for me. But if you do want to come out and hang out with us in January, definitely let me know. Those time blocks that you put aside for yourself. Otherwise, you're just going to do what we say. You can run your day or let your day run you. You don't carve out time blocks, if you don't create calendars to schedule and intentionally make the things you want happen, nothing changes if nothing changes. Your day runs you, everything overtakes you, and then you find yourself sitting down going, what did I do? Or how come I did not do ... That's when we go back to two types of people, active talkers versus action takers. Spend so much time talking about what you didn't do, what happened to you, the past, all the things that you're not intentionally doing enough to move forward. PCS, specifically those Sunday personal clarity sessions. A Sunday well spent brings a week full of content. At least 60 minutes to 3-hour time blocks when you intentionally work on moving forward. So whether it be those amazing calendars that we talked about today, I cannot say enough about my Reminders app, okay? It is my lifeblood. And encouraging the hubby and the son, like, men, right? They're like, I don't need no direction. Yes, you damn well do. And I am not going to be that everything mommy. That's that cut this year. I'm going to be clear. They didn't like me, but they have to learn to love me for saying what I am and what I am not going to be. Because in my new season, I'm not going to be the overworked mommy. It's not my responsibility to remind everybody of or to take everybody's mess. And it's been a challenge, I will say, not all the things, but just the short amount of things, to get into a space where people understand that. Because a lot of, as women and as mothers, we are in spaces where we're expected to do more than everybody else, but nobody else sees it. Everybody else wants to get respect. Everybody else wants to be acknowledged for their work. But as the mommy, we're just supposed to take all the hits, all the cuts, all the bruises, all the disappointments, and take everybody else's cuts, bruises, disappointments, and nurture and help them heal while we sitting up in a corner. I cut that this year. And I didn't care. When they say happy wife, happy life, I didn't care who was angry with me. My emotions was going to be free. free. And a part of that, however rough those patches were, created a space where I believe people are a little bit more conscious of what I want when I'm not feeling good, or when I'm depleted, or when I need somebody to check in and say, you doing okay? What's going on with you? What you need? Or to be conscious of subtly doing things for me. Because as women, not just moms, because even when we're not mommying our spouses or our kids, as women, we mommy our friends. You can be like, you have one of my favorite shows is Abbott Elementary. They're like, listen, I don't have 2 kids. I got like 70 kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, you may find yourself in a place where you mommy a lot of people. Who mommies you? I'm going to tell you, when I went to Jamaica, baby. First of all, thank you to my aunt. She had, a team. She had people come in and cook for us and maintain all the things, so we didn't really have to do that kind of stuff. But my mom was there, okay? And my mom would be like, you want some tea? You want some coconut water? You're hungry? And you take for granted that shit. Like, for real. When you all go on vacation as a mom, you got to make sure that the map is right. Where we driving, what we doing today, what's on the itinerary, where we eating today. Hell, you need a vacation after the damn vacation. That was a vacation. That was loved on by my mama, by my aunts, by my grandmama, by everybody, and I just didn't have to lift a finger if I didn't want to. How beautiful was that, right? That is another message. I don't know where it popped out, but it popped up as I'm trying to wrap up today. What am I trying to say? Sometimes it's not easy, and I'm not going to go through all the details because we would be on here forever and ever. Trust me, it may come to next year or the year after, all the things that happened to me this year. But point being, the reality of the situation is at some point you got to be able to articulate, even if it's not easy conversations to have, where people are going wrong, where things are not quite right, where you're not happy or feeling taken for granted, to let people know, hey, step up. You doing the least and thinking you doing the most is not right for me. Me not being able to have enough time to do all the things, but then being chastised for not doing all the things, it's not working for me, right? What that energy looks like, if that's something that you need to figure out, that's on you. But you need to take time to take action to do what you need to do. And that, my friends, is where we end today's Sister Sin Circle. Amen. I'm not a mother, but I agree. Trust and believe. There are just so many things, so many people, so many energies, so many responsibilities, and being able to create a space where you give yourself the space to be honest and open and human, whatever that looks like, because sometimes it does not look like what everybody else wants to look. It's a look. Sometimes they get shook. They be like, whoo, I am shooketh what you presented to me today. Just, whoo. But anyway, take of this what you will. Hopefully I get to see some of you guys either today or throughout the week as part of the Fresh Start program, Sister Sin Circle, and or the new Plug and Publish series. If you need anything from yours truly, feel free to check in with me for the latest updates of what's going on in the circle. You can always visit sistersense.com/LLP. That's my link list page to see what the latest updates and upcoming things are. Anything else, email sistersense@gmail.com, or as you're on the sistersense.com website, click the gray tab on the right to send me a voice message. Stay blessed. Create your amazing. Till next time, take care. Bye.